we're back at the Nordic Game Pavilion here at GDC, where we caught up with Reto Moto, who are telling us a little bit about their game, Heroes and Generals, which seems like a fairly ambitious game. Can you just tell us what's the basic concept of the game?
We call it a massive online first-person shooter, which refers to the hero part of the game, and it has a strategic multiplayer campaign, which is the Generals part of the game. So you're able to play as a normal shooter guy, or you could also choose to play as a general devising the grand strategies for the entire campaign.
And we should say that this is a World War II game, so you'll be playing either as the Allied or the Axis, and there will be wars going on, and they will play out over a set period of time.
Yeah, we currently have two factions. We have the US faction and the German faction, and later on in the development process, we will add more factions.
Like aliens, or?
No. We are running an open door development policy and asking the community what they would like. So if the community wants an Italian faction, we might add that. We might add the Russian faction, whatever the community wants actually.
And you can create specific wars with different settings, or things like that as well.
Yeah, some wars will have the wars will have different victory conditions. One victory condition could be capture the opponent's capital. Another victory condition could be wipe out your enemies entirely, or maybe you have a war where you should possess 2/3 of the map.
So, how do you balance these things out when there are so many layers of the game, and you can play it strategically or just as a shooter? How do you sort of make it all come together into one game?
Yeah, well, that's the interesting part of it, because it's entirely community-based. It is PvP only. The players has to generate all the content of the game. I mean, we set up the setting for the game. We provide them with a map over Europe where they can play over different key territories, different battlefields, factories, airfields, and then it's actually up to the players themselves to generate the war. If no generals wants to go to war and wants to attack each other, then there will be no missions for the shooter players. So we're really interested in having a strong community and hope that they'll be able to pull off the war for us.
The one interesting thing that you showed up was the app, that you will actually be able to have a app in your Android or iOS device to follow the war effort, even if you're not playing right now.
Yeah, we have an app called Heroes and Generals Mobile Command that we're developing right now. And with this app, it is a war viewer, this first version, where you'll be able to monitor the war, monitor your resources, chat with the other team members, chat with the other guys in your faction. And in the next version, you'll be able to play the entire strategy game on iOS and Android devices. So you'll be able to join the war 24/7.
So, one thing that I always have to ask when it's a free-to-play model is, how will you sort of balance the microtransactions, and what's your policy on that so it doesn't become a pay-to-win game?
Well, we strive to make a balanced free-to-play model. One example is our weapon modification system. If you increase the rate of fire, for instance, then you might decrease your accuracy as well. So there'll be no super nuclear bomb gun. It will be all balanced, and we try to make it fair as well. Another aspect is that you could invest all your in-game credits on your character, buying more characters, more stuff for your characters. But the generals can also buy stuff for their assault teams. So if a general decides that, hey, I want to upgrade the rate of fire of my team's machine guns, then they can do that, and players joining that assault team will have the benefits of the spendings of the general.
And what's the roadmap ahead, and what's the time plan for Heroes and Generals?
We are currently in closed alpha. You can apply for an alpha key, and we send out alpha keys regularly in batches. And within some months, we'll go into an open beta with a closed beta period before that, of course. We can't be too specific about when, because we want the game to be solid enough before it goes into open beta.
And after that, it's just hopefully very soon after that it can come out as the full game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the open beta we might have a fluent transition into launch, because the open beta is just for us. It's a matter of getting the game out to the players. We want to hear how the players feel like it. We want to see how the game plays out, see if we can pull off the whole PvP thing, if it works, and if it does work, then we'll continue adding new content. If it doesn't work, then we have to rethink some of the mechanic parts, of course.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for showing up.